Re-recording? Yeah. What's up, everyone? Game Bunny Reacts. Back with another video. Today we're checking out Big Tugg, Why Flying Sucks. Hold up, let me flip my camera on. My bad. I thought I already did this before I started the video. There we go. Because the way it works, you know what I mean. But yeah, today we're checking out Big Tugg, Why Flying Sucks. I've actually never been on a plane. I've never flown anywhere. I want to, but I've never done it. But anyways, let's just get into it. I don't know anything about the airport, so this is going to be a new video for me.
Tugg.com for exclusive content that YouTube won't let me post, and also a bunch of perks you have to see to believe.
Alright, you saw the title of this video. You know, one frame in what the next 20 minutes are going to be like. Oh, Big Tugg's going to rip on air travel for the next 10 to 20 minutes, an art form that Seinfeld has cemented and perfected back in 1992. Yeah, it's a little lazy, but hear me out. Let me talk it out real quick. Traveling by plane is a constantly evolving landscape. Every time you get on a plane, it's different from the last time you got on a plane. And when I say evolving, I don't know if that's the correct word, because it has done nothing but taken backward steps for the last 25 years. I just don't understand how humans harness the power of flight, something that we as a species have been dreaming of for hundreds of thousands of years, and then almost immediately turned it into one of the worst experiences you can go through. But it wasn't always like that.
Hey, have you guys seen that one video where like that woman is freaking out? I don't know what it was about, but she was like freaking out, and apparently like she got kicked off the plane and she started an OnlyFans. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but it actually happened. There was a woman that just freaked out. People saw the video and said she looked pretty enough to start an OnlyFans, so she did.
We used to have dignity when we put shit in the sky. The roots of flying are ancient, dating back to at least 200 BCE when a Chinese general flew a kite over the walls of a city he was attacking. So, you know, he wasn't flying, but he harnessed the power of wind, which is like 90% of the battle. By the 13th century, kites spread across Asia into the Middle East. Venetian explorer Marco Polo wrote about them in the late 13th century. And soon they spread across Europe. Everyone was just champing at a bit to get a taste of that sweet, sweet kiting. The earliest kites were not what you'd think. They were actually made of wood and mimicked the shape of birds, which, really? I don't know about you guys, but have you ever thrown wood into the air? It comes back down really fast, so I don't know how they accomplished this. Eventually, they started using lighter materials, such as bamboo, silk, and paper. You know, like the kites we know about today. But while the rest of Europe was busy flying kites like a bunch of dork asses, Leonardo da Vinci was in the ball game, making plans for actual human flight. In addition to painting the Mona Lisa, the Last Supper, and that weird guy who's doing a cartwheel with his dick out, Leonardo da Vinci was obsessed with drawing flying machines. When I say obsessed, I don't mean like in a cute way. Like he made 500 different drawings of flying machines. Further proof that autism isn't a new thing, it just wasn't diagnosed back then. Interestingly, every single one of his flying machines involved some kind of manpower. He wasn't like thinking about jet fuel. Like he had no other plans on making the things fly besides a guy in the middle doing this. That was the whole plan. So you have to appreciate his imagination on such a topic, but
you know what I've always wondered though? This is gonna I'm not gonna pause throughout the whole video, but I've been wondering, with everything we got in 2025 now, if you was to take someone from like 1987 and put them in today's society, I think they would literally have a panic attack and go into a coma if they saw what we had today. They wouldn't be able to handle it, like AI girlfriends, AI and all that. I don't think they could take it.
At the end of the day, he never got even close to making one of these things. So he gave us hope that one day we would be able to fly, but at the end of the day, he was standing around thinking, we're gonna need a little magic. We're gonna need some magic to make these things happen.
Hey, Assassin's Creed,
so I have a cat,
right
and she terrifies me. For several reasons. I mean, she'll jump on my chest from 60 feet away in an attempt to let me know that she can hunt and kill me at any time. But the main reason she scares me is because when cats get sick, they don't want you to know about that at all. A dog gets sick, and it's like, bow wow, my tummy hurts, help me, mommy. They let you know. Whereas a cat would literally rather die than let you know it has an ounce of weakness inside of it. But what if I told you that there was a cat litter that was unbelievably lightweight, that was delivered white to your door, and would change colors depending on the potential health risks that your cat might have? Is that possible? Yes, it is. All of those things are real because pretty litter exists. So this stuff is pretty crazy and has a lot of benefits over box standard cat litter, so let me just rattle off some banger notes here. Pretty litter is made of silica gel crystals that weigh so little that I assumed I was getting scammed when it was delivered to my door. But that's because it's just so much lighter than any other kind of litter. It has the ability to alert you to specific health concerns and literally turns a...
I was gonna get that little because it did look pretty cool. That shit is expensive. Even if it's not the most expensive, it's still... Dude, cat litter, for anyone that doesn't have a cat litter is so expensive. Even if you buy the cheapest thing, it's still like $15 or $20. It's insane.
Color based on the affliction your cat might have. Like orange might indicate metabolic acidosis, and blue means they might have a urinary tract infection, and it's just crazy how informative this stuff is. It's also 99% dust free, has advanced odor control, and due to the crystal's nature, is an all-around lower maintenance litter. So if any of this interests you or your cat, head to the link in the description and save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy with Big Tugg 20. Once again, it's the link in the description and it's Big Tugg 20. Use that code and you get a free... Let me show you the toys. You like that, Abby? Go get it. Pretty litter, making cat shit look good. And I'm assuming they won't let me say that in the ad read, but if I'm saying it right now, that means that they approved it and they're a cool company.
And if you think magic is a very big balloon, then Da Vinci was right. Because about 300 years later, we made the next great leap in aviation, hot air balloon. Have you ever ridden in one of these things? It sucks. It's very cold and you have to do it really early in the morning or the balloon doesn't work apparently. Hot air balloons, or as I call them, HABs, hit the scene in 1783 thanks to French brothers Joseph and Jacques Montgolfier. I assume that's how you pronounce it. Once again, the French language pisses me off. The first hot air balloon with passengers climbed to 6,000 feet and traveled over a mile. Over the next century, engineers like these two fine cats would pioneer aerodynamics while fine-tuning gliding machines, which led us to finally the Weird-Ass Brothers from Ohio. In 1903, two kids in Ohio, the Wright brothers, high school dropouts, invented the first flying machine. Who would have guessed? Using a text Nathaniel published on aerodynamics as the basis for their design and a 12-horsepower engine for propulsion, they were able to seize the power of flight from the gods. And just for reference, 12-horsepower engine is like 2 fucking lawnmowers, so it's crazy they were able to accomplish this. By the 1940s, jet engine technology made air travel faster and cheaper. Now everyone was getting on their planes and wearing fancy outfits and wearing big hats and shit. It's like going to church. But much like the Gritty, when everyone starts doing something, it starts to suck. Commercial flying was loud, cold, and uncomfortable, and the planes weren't pressurized, so turbulence was a common occurrence. Imagine getting on a plane, it's like a new thing, and you sit down and the whole thing starts shaking like a bowl of jelly, you would shit yourself and never fly again. But with the introduction of the Boeing 707, commercial flights became comfortable and more affordable. Known as the jet age, flying became accessible to many Americans post-World War II. And between 1955 and 1972, passenger numbers more than quadrupled. Today, flying is...
Dude, how old is that picture? Jesus. Like, I would love to go back in that time just to see what it was like. Like how nowadays we got like freaking all these stores like where you have technology like you can just order stuff. Imagine being back in that time. I think I would be bored. I can't even survive without my phone.
Commonplace. Everyone's doing this shit. In 2023, over 862 million passengers flew on U.S. commercial flights. But much like your favorite band that no one knew of, when everyone starts enjoying it, it starts to suck a lot more. Despite everyone relying on flying, or maybe because of it, flying has become a lot shittier. But one of the worst parts about flying is not even the flying, it's what happens before the flying, which is the fucking airport. So this is the part of the video where I...
The fact, and I said I wasn't even going to pause throughout the video. The fact that you have to pay if you if you have a big bag, you gotta pay extra. Like, I got a lot of shit to carry. I'm gonna be damned if I have to pay extra money for a flight I'm already paying almost like $700 for.
I have a bunch of paper here, and it's all about bitching about flying. So if that's what you came for, get excited. If it's not, you can click off now. The airport is the poop appetizer for the entire dish that is traveling by plane. It's crazy that the airlines charge you so much to buy a ticket because it seems like everything the airport is doing is trying to make you miss your flight. I mean, first of all, the airport's always wicked far away from wherever you are. No matter where you are, if you're in a big city, the airport is 90 miles that way. And I understand it has to be further away from a city so you can build, long runways or whatever the f. But at one point, you're just being dicks. Like the Denver airport, the largest airport in America, is 26 miles away from Denver. Have you seen Denver? There's nothing going on there. It's like a little city. You just build it a little bit closer. So I spent all of this time complaining about getting to the airport. What happens when you get there? Nothing good. So the first thing you do is you either Uber or someone gave you a ride, because God forbid you park at the airport and you spend $90,000. Then you get into the airport and you have to print out a ticket or do something on a kiosk, and the kiosk never works. But okay, you got your ticket, you printed it out, you're all good, you're heading towards that plane, and then you have to go through TSA. TSA, and TSA has been a fucking joke since 9/11. But up until 9/11, airport security was run by private companies, and generally only required walking through a metal detector. Friends and families could even walk you to the gate, which I'm glad I don't have to deal with that now. That seems like such a fucking waste of time, but they could do that.
Nowadays, you gotta do a fucking cavity search just to get in. I'm kidding. Nah, if they try to do a cavity search, I would be like, fuck you, I'm going in.
If they wanted to, but now, what is going on? The blame falls on a lot of aspects, but mostly it's the underqualified workers and the uneducated people who are going through TSA. Hey guys, here's a quick tip. For any part of your life, but let's say just for the TSA, let's all act like we've done this before, okay? Lines at the TSA would be running like clockwork if it wasn't for fucking dipshit holding up the line. Hey, do I have to take my laptop out of my backpack and take off my shoes? I don't know, have you taken a flight since 2003? Because you always have to do that, every single time. And then people are constantly trying to like get through TSA with like they're like, maybe this time they won't make me dump out my water bottle. Hey, they're always gonna make you do that. They're always gonna make you do that. And I think we need to talk a little bit more about TSA workers. Listen, I understand you deal with the dumbest people ever, but
I hate how you have to throw away your snacks. Like if you like what he said, you have to throw away a water bottle. It's like, okay, you throw your water bottle away, and when you get on the plane, you gotta pay another 20. The fucking, it could be like this. This water right here. This water is about. Like a 12-pack of them is like $12, maybe even cheaper, maybe a little bit more. But like on an airplane, this one water bottle would cost like fucking $12. It's fucking insane.
Up and you're really angry with me, or I'm like, I have everything prepared and I'm ready to go, and then you look, step forward, oh my, step forward. Don't be a fucking asshole. I'd be nice to the good people and be mean to the mean people, so there's incentive. There's incentive to be not a dipshit. If you're mean to everyone, it doesn't fucking matter. So okay, you made it through TSA, and you immediately are greeted by millions of companies trying to sell you shit for no fucking reason. Just so many places trying to sell you the most overpriced bottles of water you could ever possibly imagine. Why are there, what books? What are these books they're peddling on us? Last time I was in there was a stand full of Diane Keaton's autobiography. Who's coming to the airport for that?
I'll show you, this is last time pausing. I'll show you which books I got. I read. This right here. I don't know if you can see that. Chainsaw Man. This, I like anime. This is one of my favorite animes. Chainsaw Man and Solo Leveling. If you're into anime or want to get into anime, I would check out Chainsaw Man and Solo Leveling. My friend's been letting me use his Crunchyroll account. I don't pay for streaming. I usually just go on Soap Today or like something like that. I don't pay. It's I think it's a ripoff. Having to pay like fucking $20 for each subscription. And speaking of who's coming for that, let's talk about some of the regional flair that comes with airports. Every airport has a unique vibe to it that really sells you on the city you landed at or are leaving from. Some airports try to remind you of the city themselves, like the Las Vegas airport has a bunch of slot machines everywhere, but I don't think that's less of decoration and more of just trying to get gambling addicts at every step of the way. The Seattle airport is still obsessed with the grunge mentality that was popular for 3 weeks. Apparently the record label that put out Nirvana's first record, Sub Pop, has their own store in the terminal. And you can buy f***ing vinyl records at the airport, which is cool but stupid at the same time. And then when you go to like, I don't know, like the O'Hare airport, they'll sell you a Chicago dog and you get some Garrett's popcorn because you're a f***ing tourist. And then there's the Denver International Airport, and my brother lives in Denver. I've been to Denver. What are they doing at that airport? I don't know what they're trying to do there. The Denver airport is the center of a lot of conspiracies about the occult because there's so much fucking weird art hanging around there that it is fucking scary. There's like murals about the end of the world, and there's a giant blue Bronco with glowing red eyes out of. That looks like something out of like, I don't fucking know, Resident Evil. Actually, I wouldn't say Resident Evil. That looks cool as fuck, but also scary as fuck. Like, imagine having that in your house. That would be scary, but also pretty cool to have. What the heck?
Front of the airport. It's just very satanic. And then you get to Denver and you're like, oh, this is a very brown city where I can't breathe. It has nothing to do with demon horses. And that fucking statue of the horse, you can't get to it by foot. You can only see it, it's like 9,000 feet from the road. So you have to see it by a car. Well, you get a glance of it and you're like, did I just see hell? What the fuck? And also, one last note before I get to this next segment. The worst part about the airport is the people who get hammered at the airport bars. You people bum me the out every single time. Listen, I understand the enjoyment of an airport beer. You know, everything has been shitty up to this point. Just drink one down while you're waiting for your flight. But do not get blacked out next to me while I'm eating an overpriced hamburger and try and talk to me. I'm angrier than I ever have been in my life. I do not want to talk to a hammered stranger. I'm sorry your life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and now you're going on a flight for work for something you don't give a shit about, but don't make that my problem. Keep drinking your IPAs and shut the fuck up. But now, it's time to board the plane. We have not figured out how to board a plane as Americans. It depends on what airline you're on, where they go board by group, and you're like, I'm in the A group. Well, joke's on you. The Key and Peele skit, there's 90 people joining before the A group. Or you're flying Southwest, and everyone is given a number. Have you flown Southwest? It is it's a gauntlet. Everyone's given a number, and then there's these signs that say, like, between 5 and 10, 10 and 15, whatever, and you have to, like, fit yourself into the spaces, and you have no clue if people are lying or not, so everyone is just silently ready to murder someone who just cut in front of them. Being boarded on a plane is a slow shuffle to a crucifixion. It is a fucking nightmare. But okay, you get in your seat, you didn't pay good money for it, so you're all the way in the back near the toilets, but you've sat down, it is fine. And then you're sitting there for 40 minutes for some fucking reason, and then the plane starts moving a little bit, and then the fucking lady comes up there and they start doing the pre-safety demonstration. And that is the most awkward thing as someone who is a strong empath. Nothing hurts me more than the internal fight I'm having with myself of I'm trying not to make too much eye contact with this lady because I don't want her to know that I'm ignoring her, but also I need to pay attention a little bit so she doesn't feel like an asshole. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, if this plane's going down, the panic of the people around me is going to kill me before I can even help myself. So this demonstration's not worth it. And then if you're lucky and the plane doesn't shit itself and you have to wait for an engine to be changed, you go up in the air and within a millisecond if someone reclines back into you and knocks your fucking teeth out, and then in compensation for that, they walk around and give you a little you snack, like a bag of pretzels or peanuts, and then the in-flight entertainment is something terrible like fucking Bad Boys 4 or some shit, and then you gotta pee or shit, and you keep cranking your neck down the aisle to see if someone is.
Let me give you advice on that. If you're gonna be on a long flight, download a bunch of movies. Like, even if you have to, like, take your laptop or whatever out of the thing, just download a bunch of movies and watch them on the flight. Trust me. Like, you could download a whole, like, the whole series of Breaking Bad and just watch it. The whole flight. Breaking Bad, whatever. I started watching Breaking Bad, I loved it.
Using the bathroom, there is always someone in the bathroom. I don't know how people figure out the mathematical probability of...
That TV show is so old, but people talk about it like it's new. That TV show's been out since, God, even when cable TV used to be out.
Always having someone in that bathroom, but I might as well shit myself. But listen, we are living in a society, and the society doesn't end once you get over 20,000 feet in the air, okay? So I decided to come up with some guidelines, some personal big Tugg guidelines for flying in the sky so we can all realize how to make this shit work, okay? Rule number 1. Do not fucking talk to me. Never talk to anyone on a fucking plane. I don't care if you're like a cute old man who's just looking for someone to talk to, or a chatty businessman who's trying to hit on a woman. No one wants to talk to anyone they don't know on a plane, or people they do know. I want to put in my earbuds and forget I exist for 4 hours. The only time you can talk to me is if I'm sitting in the aisle and you're sitting at the window, and then you tap me on the shoulder to say, hey, I gotta go shit. And I understand that took a lot of courage, so I'm gonna allow that. But I didn't panically download 4 episodes of My Brother and Brother and Me right before the flight so I could listen to you talk. We're not doing that. Number 2, there are rules for where you sit. There are rules for where you sit. This is not my own concept, but I feel it has to be retold to the people. Window seat gets the window, and they're able to rest their head on the wall. Middle seat gets both middle armrests, and the aisle seat gets extra legroom to stick it out, and they have the ability to leave whenever they want. That's it. You don't get to take from other people. If I'm sitting in the window seat and I close that, that's for good reason. I don't care if your toddler wants to see what it looks like outside of a plane. If I open that thing, we're flying at 9 in the morning facing east. Like, I'm going to get the power of Apollo blowing my eyes out. If I'm in the middle and you're on the aisle or the window and you're putting elbows in my sides trying to get that armrest, I will literally fight you with my elbows. I will dig into your arm meat. And if I'm on the outside and you need to piss more than 2 times a flight, tough luck. I am not waking up because you have an overactive bladder. I'm sorry. You should have alerted the flight attendant. You probably get better seating. Rule number 3, keep your fucking shoes on. What are we doing as a nation? This is not a Tarantino film, and you do not have Margot Robbie feet. No one wants to fucking see that shit. First of all, if you take off your shoes, you're already a problem. But if you take off your shoes, and then you put your fucking dirty little piggies up, and you put them on the armchair of the person in front of you, death penalty. You are murdered on the flight. Someone shoots you in the fucking face. I understand that flights are long, and you want to be comfortable. But if everyone did what you did, you'd probably think everyone else was a piece of shit. It's all about living how you want your neighbor to live. You know what I'm saying? Number 4, pretty big blanket rule. This is not about you. This flight, not about you, honey. I don't care if you're a bad flyer and you're having a panic attack. I've had 3 panic attacks on planes and I handle that shit. I don't care if the person next to you is chewing really loudly and you want to start a physical altercation because then they have to land the plane. And I don't care if you see an alien on the wing like that Twilight Zone thing. Keep it to your fucking self. We need to get this plane to Houston. And also, every time I see one of those videos of someone like running up and down the aisles, or like a toddler or an adult, or like a group of Christians that are all coming back from a missionary and they all start praising God in the back, I will kill you. I will go to jail forever just to make you guys shut the fuck up. This is not a class field trip. We're not singing Wheels on the Bus. Whatever you're dealing with in your life, keep it to yourself, keep it down, and we'll get there whenever we get there, okay? Rule number 5, and this one's a little bit more anarchist and it goes against my ethos, but you are allowed to use the rich person bathroom. The first class bathroom, tear off that curtain and go take a shit. There's going to be a flight attendant trying to stop you, but if you look panicked enough, they will let you take a dump in that bathroom. You're telling me the only thing stopping us from class warfare is a delicately dangling curtain? F you. And the way those people look at you when you're getting on the plane and they just look up at you like, ugh, filth, back of the plane for you. Like, f you, we're coming for you too. Rule number 6, don't be an asshole about reclining your seat. You can recline your seat barely. They gave you the option and I understand that. It makes me very angry, but you can do it. But there's a system to it. You slowly do it. You let it back easily because I have a drink on my little stand and if you do that, it's going to fly into my lap and I'm going to reach around and rip your lips off. But just don't do it. Is it worth it? Is it worth it to recline your chair 2 inches? Is it really worth it? Because it just makes you an asshole and then it creates a domino effect because I have to recline my chair because you reclined your chair. Now everyone's reclined. So it doesn't make it, you don't get a benefit. Whatever. Don't recline your chair. And last but not least, and definitely not least, because this is my biggest pet peeve, there is an order to get off the fucking plane. If the plane lands and the thing goes boom boom, and everyone unclicks their seatbelt, and you fucking run up to the front of the plane, who the fuck are you? Do you understand how insane that is? I can smell them. I can smell the assholes coming from the back of the plane to get to the front before anyone else can, because they just brought a bag and that makes them special. Getting off the plane sucks, and you and I didn't pay for first class. But you know what I did? I checked in the moment they let me, and you didn't. You took your time, so you have to fucking wait. Sorry. And it's always an old person. It's never a young, it's always a 55-year-old bitch, piece of shit dude who just thinks he's fucking because he served in fucking whatever, Desert Storm. Whatever, that wasn't a good analogy, but you know what I'm saying. Alright, I think that's enough. Jesus Christ, I was gonna talk about how airlines are evil and how they have fucked us over since day one, but like, maybe I should. And also, let's talk about buying a ticket. Let's talk about, I'm off script right now, baby, I'm fucking going. First of all, when you buy a ticket on the internet, you have to clear your cookies, because they know you're looking for tickets, and they raise the price every time you go.
Really? They raise the price when they know like you're looking for them? Huh. I actually didn't know that.
The website. If you don't clear your cookies and you save $100 because they know you're desperate. It's fucking crazy. God forbid you buy a ticket around Christmas time, and it's not because there's more people buying tickets than what actually is, but it's not like there's less planes. You know, make the ticket the same price. You're fucking ground gouging me. And the government had to step in recently because all the fucking fees. They had to say, hey, you're telling me you're canceling flights and not giving refunds? You're telling me you're making people wait for 4 hours to get on a flight and not giving them a partial credit? What are you doing? Then you gotta pay for bag fees, and you gotta pay for being fat now, and you gotta do so many.
Now that I can actually agree on. I feel like super fat, like obese, where like you take up 2 seats, then yeah, I think you should have to pay double the seats. But if you're like somewhat fat but you don't take up the whole seats where you can have room, then no. But like if you're like my 600-pound life and take up fucking 4 seats, then hell yeah.
Fucking things that they're taking money from you from. And now they can overbook their flights. They can overbook their flights and they can say, hey, you know how you bought a ticket? We sold a lot more tickets than there were on the plane, so you're not gonna make this one. We'll see you in Colorado in 2 weeks. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, hold on, let me get this straight. You know exactly how many seats are on that plane and how many tickets you can sell. And you sold these tickets with a computer that can compute numbers, right? I'm not a mathematician, right? But if I had a computer selling tickets, somehow, some way, I would code it out where there would be a countdown to when there was no more tickets. You didn't figure that, you didn't think about that stat, but the thing is, they do think about that stat. They do think about all that shit. They just don't fucking care. They can screw you out of money because they know you have no other option. And mostly that's because this country is so goddamn big that the only way to even get close to traveling across the country is using a plane. But Jesus Christ, it has all just fallen to shit. It is so bad. I don't know. I think that's the end of the video. I just need to talk about these things, dude. The holidays have gotten me ripe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for clicking that bell. Do people still do that? New videos every Saturday and Wednesday. And shout out to the extra Tugglets for keeping me alive during.
That was Why Flying Sucks by Big Tugg. Like he said, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, comment down, ring the bell. Sorry the video was kind of long. I kept on pausing. I have a problem with pausing. I just do that so like when I talk, so I don't know if you guys can hear me or the video more. So that's why I pause so much. But if you like the video, like, subscribe. Stay safe, you guys. Have a good day. I might record later on today, so stay tuned. Love you guys.